Hi, Roz. Hi, everyone else. Hope you're having a good Monday or Tuesday or Sunday. Can't remember how time works. Whatever day it happens to be for you. Yeah. Oh, Mondays are long. Mondays are long. Not bad, but long. But hopefully that ad that I just ran will um, keep more ads from running. I don't understand how the ads manager works now. But anyway, it's Monday. Last week was a good week, um, full of conference talks. There's a lot of webinars, conferences, meetings last week. So that'll be good. And then that'll prepare me for just this week is a lot of client work, which, that's good. Keeps me busy, I guess. And so one of the things I want to do today, I tweaked the format just slightly because I am talking at a luncheon tomorrow, just for like 10 minutes, I think. It has honestly not been super well explained how long I'm talking or what I'm talking about or what the purpose is, but we're gonna do what we can. For someone who likes to be over-prepared, it is very anxiety-producing to not be given any guidance or boundaries. But that's okay. The subject, rather, of the luncheon is digital marketing and AI. And somehow I'm supposed to be talking about it with SEO, even though, like, to be honest, of all the digital marketing angles that exist, SEO is probably the area that you would least want to use AI. But it's an area where it's still very important to know about consumer behavior with AI. That's where the conversation really needs to be. So I have my outline on the next slide. So I'm going to go through those talking points and see how long I babble about it. So I have a good sense of how long it is and whether I say anything useful. So if anybody listening wants to put on small business owner hat and let me know what kinds of things would be helpful to hear in this context, that would be great. Because things that I plan on addressing. So first of all, it's just important to establish what we're talking about. People use AI and it means several different things. In marketing materials, like software companies, when they use AI, it could really mean anything. When consumers use AI, they probably mostly think of generative AI. And when business owners use it, I think they usually use generative AI, what they're thinking of too. Why is the ad starting soon? I did whatever. If you missed this because of advertising, ironic. Anyway, I'm just going to be talking about what AI is. Probably already know that. So, in my view, any sufficiently advanced computer program is artificial intelligence. Being a computer being able to complete something with minimal input, minimal supervision. Um, so the kind of AI that I like is automation. Generative AI and agentic AI are new. I don't like them as much, to be honest. So generative AI is like ChatGPT, Midjourney, Perplexity. So the programs that, yeah, and it's all magic. I'm not sure they're nerdy enough for me to say that. I feel like in a certain room, I absolutely would. Um, but anyway, so generative AI is AI that produces something. So written, um, visual, video, or picture, video. Uh, it does not create in the sense of it's a new product, but it creates something based on models. So you give it prompts and it pieces together from its learning what is the expected result based on what you put in. Agentic AI kind of goes a step beyond that, and I've been seeing that phrase more and more, so I was looking it up. And that really is the next level where you want the computer to take care of tasks for you uh, without having to oversee it, um, based on, the parameters, but then also learning. So remembering what it's done and how to do it. Um, I think that gets way too, uh, what's the word I'm looking for? I mean, it has way too much agency. I don't like it. Um, there are obviously use cases where all of these things are good, uh, but for the general public and for businesses and for people who aren't ethically minded, I think these are very dangerous tools, to be honest. People already have things very, very readily available to them. Being able to automate them so that your search can just buy whatever you're looking for without even, consulting you, um, seems bad. It just seems bad. Um, yeah, and you raise a good point there also, Max. Like, there is no regulation. People do not know what to do with all of this. And that's a good point to mention with generative AI in particular. Uh, the things that you produce are not protected by copyright. Anyone is allowed to use anything you create with AI. So that opens up a completely different issue too, that businesses aren't always aware of. Like, some people are very concerned about things like becoming a cashless society or a society where nobody owns anything. And these tools are helping that, right? Why do you need cash when your AI agent does all your shopping for you? Why do you need to own anything when generative AI can just create whatever you want and you don't have to own it? So there's there's a lot of deep issues with AI, which is kind of what we'll talk about at point 3. From the search engine and the search um, perspective, because that's what I focus on. The big question isn't really how you use AI to do SEO. The big question is, how has consumer use of AI affected search engine optimization? So Google AI overviews dominate the search page. There are more zero-click searches. So people, when they're just looking for basic information, they don't go to a website. They just read the AI review, if they even end up on Google at all, because more and more users are using ChatGPT and other generative AI chat AIs as search engines. Interesting, the number of Google searches hasn't gone down. So right now it's not an either or. Like people are using ChatGPT instead of Google. It is actually a both. People are getting frustrated with Google searches, having a conversation with AI to figure out what they really want, and then doing research on social media and search engines. So people are now saying that SEO stands for search everywhere optimization, because you need to make sure your website and your social media accounts and how you turn up an AI search are all aligned. Um, so in some ways, it hasn't affected SEO. And by that, I mean it's very important that your website is the best that it can be, that it is properly coded, which is probably the number one error, that the content on it talks about your business clearly and authentically, and that when other people reference you, they reference you in a way that is also clear and effective, both in terms of you're being hosted as an expert and in terms of brand reputation management. Between AI and Reddit, Reddit is really big in search right now. If people are saying bad things about you on the internet, and that is dominating fora like Reddit, someone could use that to train AI to tell AI bots that your business sucks, and that's going to be your reputation. So you need to make sure that you are controlling the narrative of your business across the internet. So, what about your use of AI then? As a business owner or a content creator or whatever, I mean, these people are going to be all sorts of industries. Time is a premium, and that's the number one thing that people hear, that AI helps save time for tasks that you'd rather spend your time on. In reality, I think people waste a lot of time playing around with AI instead of using it for simple tasks that they should automate. So my suggestion on this is kind of asking yourself 3 questions. One, is this something I need to get better at? So if it is something that you need to practice and you need to get better at in order to be a better business, then don't let a computer do it for you. Do it yourself. Is this something that needs a human element? Customer service. That might be a case where it's a both and. You might have a chat box, for example, on your website to do some initial triage, um, and then have a human follow up as soon as possible. Because people do like chat GPT. People do like having a conversation rather than search a website sometimes, um, in order to find the information that they're really looking for. Now, hopefully, your website is organized in a way that it's easy to find information. Again, proper search engine optimization, proper user experience uh, would help solve some of these problems. But a lot of websites are laid out really crappily. So maybe investing in a chatbot that a human can jump on as soon as the customer requests it, that might be a good decision. A third question is this actually only a time factor? Uh, if it's something like all you do is copy and paste, um, a particular email template, all you do is, you're going somewhere to post something, um, but just finding the right time to do that, that might be a case where AI would actually be a good use. Because you're not improving any skills, you're not interacting one on one with a customer. You're just trying to let technology do its thing and, you get on with your life. So, in those cases, what are some good tools that can help you audit your website, automate certain things, and achieve the results that you would like? So, one, a browser plugin that is simple is called SEO Meta in one click. And you can download it, put it in your browser. When you're on your website, you hit it, and it shows you some of the technical aspects of your website. If your images have alt tags, if you have descriptions, if you have proper headers, you can run Google speed tests to see if it is fast enough and accessible enough for Google to like it. You can do all that kind of technical auditing right in that plugin. Um, if you're not a techie person and that scares you, then you might need to talk to someone like me who can help you. As an important note, this is not really a plug, but it's kind of a plug. A lot of web designers do not do SEO. You assume they do because you assume people who work on your website all do the same thing. That is very incorrect. So someone makes a very pretty website and it is not at all optimized for search. I'm part two. You do not want me to make your website pretty. I don't care. You want me to go in and make sure all the pretty things can be read by a computer. All right, what are some other things you can do? Let's say you're a little bit more tech comfortable and you do want to improve your SEO, but you can't afford, a complete SEO service. You could try some do-it-yourself tools like Search Atlas. You can sign up. They have a 7-day free trial, and you can run a technical audit for them. They have a lot of AI built into their software, um, so you can plug in their tools and let their computers do it. I don't like that because I think SEO needs a human element. But if you only have $100 to spend a month on SEO, well, that's what you're gonna get. You could use tools like Zapier and CRMs to automate things. That's a really good use um, to meet that third time factor thing. Zapier connects different pieces of software so that anytime someone signs up this form, you get an email, or this email triggers this thing. Um, Zapier breaks a lot in my experience, but if you keep ahead of it, it can save you a lot of time from manually having to just re-enter data again and again. And then CRMs can help you automate emails, um, automate triggers. So anytime someone does this, they get this email. And um, I'm a certified partner with Keep, which is why I list them as one of the options. So I can help you set that up if that would be something that your business would like to know about. And the last item is making sure you maintain your Google business profile. This isn't AI specifically. Um, this is more general search engine optimization, but it is free, and a lot of small businesses don't realize how much you can do with it. You can do updates, you can do specials, you can do posts, you can do events, uh, you can do FAQs. Your reviews are there. Make sure your business hours are updated. And Google being Google, there are AI features in there that you could use if you needed to lean on them. Again, I see that as something that would need a human element. I wouldn't necessarily want to handle all my control over to Google uh, in terms of interacting with my clients. But based on your industry and your business, that's a decision you have to make. Any questions? All right, so that's basically what I'm going to cover. And that took, I have no idea, 10, 15 minutes? That's not so bad. I'll have to go back through when I finish and see how long that actually was. I'm aiming for 10, but 15 wouldn't be so bad. And I might not really have to talk about this top part, just depending on what other people say. So yeah, I don't know if anybody has any thoughts. You think it all made sense? Okay, that's kind of the most important thing. It's such a big topic, and I want it to be useful, but it's also so broad, and there are so many industries that it's difficult to give very precise advice without like talking one-on-one with people. Um, but I think at least the tools list like does have a little something for everyone based on how comfortable you are with different things. Um, and I know on the handout's a lot prettier than this. This is just my um, just the notes. I'll have to say which of these are because Search Atlas, I actually have an affiliate link, so I make money. Zapier, I'm a partner, but I don't think I get any money. Keep, I'm a partner, so if they enroll through me, I get money, but they have to actually I have to send them the package. Um, so I'll have to mark out those. But anyway, we'll see how they like it tomorrow. Yeah, there's a lot. Um, the top news is actually everything that I just said, just laid out in the usual way. So I will not repeat myself. I will just note, modern. Whoa, that was weird. Okay, so modern search is changing. Um, so that's what I mentioned on second item, that especially younger generations really use social media and AI a lot for search. So you just have to be on top of things. And by that, I mean, don't try to be on every platform, but try to be on the platforms where your most important people are. So for us content creators on Twitch, we want to be live on Twitch, Discord, um, and then maybe one other social media platform. I feel like that kind of varies based on what type of content you do. I haven't been on Twitter slash X in a really long time. So I don't know what the landscape there looks like anymore. Um, some people, Instagram would probably make sense. Reddit would make sense for some people. Yeah, so that YouTube, right? YouTube would make sense. I still haven't set up how to live stream, multi stream. There we go. I still haven't figured out how to multi stream, but that'll be next week's problem. I have so many projects to finish up this week. Um, anyway, like I got a 6-hour project on Friday that's due tomorrow. It's like, okay, like, when am I going to do this? Other top news is really what I mentioned with agentic AI becoming more and more talked about, more and more a feature, which to me, it just keeps getting worse. Um, it was interesting. I think they just released a internet browser called Comet, or maybe it's a browser add-on, but whichever the case. And I've already, I think it's with Claude, but maybe it's with Perplexity. So kind of an in-browser AI bot to handle everything for you. Like, there is a part of it that is very tempting. Um, the other day when I was working on a project, I was like, okay, I have to remember to send I finished this, but I want to send the email about it on Monday, and I have to remember to do that. And that was one of those things where it would be convenient to just have an AI thing handle that for me, because it's just a matter of time. Um, I forgot that you could schedule emails. Hey, honestly, just remembered it now. But there are so many convenient things in our lives. But I resist. I resist using AI for now because I think some people need to. Um, and as a millennial, I'm used to being on the gap between technology. So I'll be on the other side of this one. That's okay. Uh, the last talking point today, I touched on this um, in the presentation. I wanted to reiterate it because I was thinking about it a lot with the search everywhere optimization and, oh, what's the point of updating your website? Because nobody goes to websites anymore. Everybody just uses the chat GPT and et cetera, et cetera. And so my line in the sand, I guess, my thought It's just make sure your technical SEO is good, right? Search engine optimization, being found by Google and AI and people on the internet, has three parts: on page, content, blogs. Off page is other people linking you, reputation management, PR, and technical, which is codes. And I think the big takeaway for people to remember is start with the technical SEO. It does not matter if your website is pretty if a robot does not understand it. So, whether you're working with a web designer or a web developer, make sure they're looking at the codes. And that's kind of the terminology difference, probably. A web designer will make it look good. A web developer will make it run good. My business is between the two, but falls more on the web developer side. And to me, that's the more important part. So get the code right, um, and then get the words right, and then continually monitor your brand reputation. That would be the order I would do search engine optimization on. And that will be the order I will be doing for Punch as I get his business website up and running. So I do follow my own advice. Not, probably as well as I should, but I am giving you the honest advice that I have. All right. So thank you for hanging out with me today. I think I'm too tired to be nervous about my presentation tomorrow. Life comes up, yeah. My advice is honest, if followed imperfectly. Um, and that's better. Uh, so yeah, I have about an hour now where the kids are up, so I should probably work on my projects. But thank you for listening. Roz, Max, Punch, whoever else is here. I appreciate your time and your company. Um, like at the end of the day, what I am doing is trying to help people communicate better with others online. It's a very technical aspect of doing it instead of a, artistic way. But that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to be human, except for the robots, which, Roz is a good robot. So, okay. I will see y'all next Monday, as far as I know. And Friday, probably, on Punch's channel for Type Zero. So until then, hope you guys are awesome. And always let me know for anything. Okay, adios.